Okay. Okay. Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Hey Suspect 13. Okay. Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Hey, Bogo Mill? Hey. I'm doing good, how are you? No, I'm gonna play it tomorrow, Officer Soldierist. Ow. Ooh. Hey Mario, hey Bunny, Panda Samurai, Unbroken. It's been a rough week for me, Patrick. My grandpa just passed away. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ryan. I'm sorry. You have my condolences. Sorry, man. I have no electricity in my hot room with no air conditioning. Ever played the Zelda games? What happened, Lewis? And no, I've never played the Zelda games. I know them, but
hey, you keep on your best.
Yeah, I know, Officer Soldierist. Yeah, I'm gonna invite you, Brandon. Ubisoft canceled The Division Heartland? Really? No, did they really? Oh, hang on. Seriously? Oh, damn, that sucks. I was really looking forward to that game. The next upcoming addition to the Division franchise is expected to be the free-to-play mobile game, The Division Resurgence. What? We don't want a mobile game. That's these man, these developers. On Twitter, I DM'd you a video from Daily Dose of Internet about genius way to trick an officer. Thoughts about this? I haven't watched it, but something feels like a form of exploitation. I can't watch it right now, Blade of Stars, but I can watch it after the stream, and I can message you what I think about it. But can you tell me what happened in the video? Can you send it again? Sure, Brandon. I was really looking forward to Division Heartland. Do you know why I was looking forward to Division Heartland? It's because the game was like DMZ. That's why I was looking forward to it. Because I really liked Modern Warfare 2 DMZ. And so I really wanted another game like that. And does anybody know, what... The Division Heartland, it was going to take place in the Midwest, right? Does anybody know what part it was supposed to take place and what state it was going to be in? But damn, that sucks. That was I was really looking forward to that game. And the thing is, that game looked like it was pretty much finished. Like, they had so much stuff in it. Like, the map and the combat, and,
Watch yourself around here.
Yes, I will, Gunner. I eventually do want to do it, yes. Bro, literally my aunt's, my aunt's, mom died on her birthday on Wednesday. Can't get worse than that, but that was like me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to but if that was like me, I'd be like Red Dead Redemption Dutch. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that, Blinded. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear about that, Blinded Eagle. You have my condolences. Romans child generals alert. What do you mean, young? I saw you saw that interview Dr. Phil did with Andy No, Pro. I hope you found it informative because, boy, he's done a good job covering Antifa. Well, I watch a lot of Dr. Phil, like Dr. Phil's new show, The Primetime Thing. I've actually watched a lot of it. But I watch Dr. Phil mainly when he covers the scammers, when he talks about that. That's when I mainly watch him for that. Did you hear the guy from Super Size Me passed away? I did. Did his cancer have anything to do with the all the McDonald's that he ate back in the day?
Make a run for it. This'll be over soon.
I remember Super Size Me. I watched that documentary when it first came out, too. Oh, he drank a lot of alcohol?
Pinche imbécil. You don't know what you're doing. ¿Estás mal de la cabeza? Carajo. Mierda. Oh.
I remember I watched that in school. When I was in middle school, we watched the Super Size Me documentary. That was like, what, 2008? I think it was. It was like some time ago, but... I remember when he finished the documentary, there was like... He was saying that I think he was like joking that his girlfriend was gonna make him eat salads from now on. Or something like that. I was trolling, like those people say you better play GTA. Oh, okay. Did you hear that EA wants to put ads into their games? Yeah, it's stupid. Imagine you're in the middle of a mission, and you get an ad. Imagine how stupid that would be. Pat, is Sammy and Amy... Wait, what, Brandon? What? McDonald's removed the supersize option after the documentary's release. Oh. They used to have a supersize option? I didn't even know that. Well, it's been a long time since I watched that documentary, but I remember he ate McDonald's for like a month straight. That's what he did.
Poor man's lost.
Well, he seemed like an informative guy, Mario. Have you heard of the movie The Interview, the movie that got Sony hacked by the North Koreans? Yeah, I did hear about it. Let me ask you, do you think that it was actually North Korea that hacked Sony over that? Because I remember they hacked Sony over that movie, and the movie never got released in public theaters because of it.
Otra vez. No puedo creerlo. Te encontraré.
Well, they're kind of both, Brandon. Some horror games I'm scared of.
Again.
Well, Drifter kids, there's like a big difference between like having like ads and like if you're playing like a game like GTA 6 for example and you see like a billboard, you know, stuff like that, that's not a big deal, or like commercials on the radio because that's meant to immerse yourself in like the GTA world. But if we're talking like real ads in like, you know, a GTA game, I think that would be pretty bad.
Bounty, is it?
Oh,
Looks
thank
like
you,
done a fine job there.
Thank you, Mike the Nerd. Thank you for sponsoring my channel.
That is what they're worth.
Thanks, man. In that LA Noire video, when you said your boss can't threaten to fire you if you have jury duty, would that boss be charged with obstruction of justice? I don't know if it's obstruction of justice. I don't remember what the charge is. The only thing I know is that they can't retaliate against you. And here's the thing is, if you have jury duty and your boss like tells you can't go, tell the judge. That's what you want to do. And the judge will a lot of times write an order that will protect you. So even after jury duty, if you finish jury duty and your boss fires you afterwards because you went to jury duty, the judge will have your back. So your boss can't do that. So make sure you tell the judge will understand, and the judge will get really pissed at your boss if he does that. So bosses can't retaliate to you. Yeah, and you know one thing I noticed about Apollo Justice Urban, it's called the Apollo Justice Trilogy, but you're only playable as you only play as Apollo in the first game, really. The second game there's one case with him, but you're playing as Phoenix mostly now.
He's got head problems, trust me.
I'll play Dead Rising one day. Pro, are you starting to get tired of that same song being played in the shorts? Oh yeah, that song, it's just, Is Spirit of Justice a good game, so Officer Soldierist? Okay, you know what, let's go to, let's go to my moonshine business here. Yeah, I wanted to play as Apollo 2 more. Speaking of Ace Attorney, I've played the original trilogy and beat the first game, loved it, great cases and everything. Thanks for getting me into them. No problem. What was your favorite case in the original trilogy, Bunny? My favorite case was the fifth case in the first game. You know, the one with Emma and her sister, and it was like the serial killer and like the evil police chief. That was probably my favorite case in the original Ace Attorneys, that one. I also really like the case in the first game with the film studio. You remember with the film studio with the Steel Samurai? That was a good case too. That one. And thank you, Mike the Nerd. What are the chances you think Rockstar put Jerry Kapowitz in GTA 6? Do you think the devs know the lore? Yes. I don't know if he's gonna be in a cutscene, but his store is definitely going to be in the game. Definitely, you'll definitely be able to find his store in the game. Yeah, Officer Soldiers. I just don't remember the case names. Hi, Professional. My friend, Cali Plains had his channel demonetized for apparently copying another plane spotting streamer's words. Is there any way you can help him get in contact with YouTube? Thank you, Alvanor, for the super chat. Alvanor, can you comment on my tweet, my latest tweet, and I will follow you on Twitter, and then you can message me on Twitter, just all the details. and then I'll see if I can do something to help. Is what happened exactly? You said that they demonetized for apparently
I have some ideas.
copying another plane spotter's words. Is there any way you could help? Like, how big is his channel and what happened exactly? Can you explain a little bit more?
There are things you could do to lower
What do you
the
think
price,
of Nazis from World War II getting charged in their crimes in their old age, in their 80s and 90s? Well, it doesn't matter how old you are. You shouldn't be able to escape justice. So if somebody did something horrible, even if it's been like many decades ago, they should still be charged for it, Lopez. Just because you're old doesn't mean that you get to get away with it. Thank you for the super chat. Hey Pro, it's Ananda. I wanted to say something, friend, but by June 3, I will be going to India for my higher studies, so I might or might not be able to join your stream, but love your video. So thank you, Ananda. No, I'm sorry, Mr. Noah, I've just been so busy. What do you think of the possibility of Rockstar breaking their lore for the sake of getting GTA 6 out? Keep in mind the diamond bump from GTA 4 and Vice City. Rockstar breaking their lore for the sake of getting GTA 6 out? You mean like forgetting things from the previous GTA games? It's definitely a possibility. I mean, like, one of the biggest lore violations in GTA 5 was when they completely forgot about Angus. Like, where the hell is Angus? Hey, Professional, do you speak Polish? And if so, do you speak one word? Can you speak one word? Jak się masz? Ja gadam po polsku. Means how are you? I speak Polish. Ja umiem gadać po polsku. I know how to speak Polish. I have seen the teaser for Black Ops 6. I wonder what it's gonna be. Alvinor, can you explain a little bit more to me what happened to your friend? Portland, Oregon voted out their current DA recently. Looks like people there have finally had enough of the madness. Oh, okay, Mario. Yeah, that's, what was his reaction to being voted out? Yes, I did, Zach. I saw the Modern Warfare 3 alternate ending. My friend Cali Plains has 18,200 subscribers. He apparently said something that another plane spotting streamer says, and YouTube demonetized him. Well, thank you for the super chat again, Alvinor. Alvinor, you don't have to super chat me again. I appreciate it. Just let me know in the comments like what's a little bit as much information as you can. I'll be looking for your comments, but I appreciate the super chats. What did YouTube give him as the specific reason? Like, what did YouTube support say was the specific reason for the demonetization? Like, what did they? Do you know what they said exactly? You're saying that he apparently copied another YouTuber's words, but do you know what YouTube support said exactly to him? The Angus thing is like saying what happened to CJ. It said something that the devs don't want to say because they don't see it as necessary. Well, it is kind of necessary because Angus, technically Angus is the next boss of the Lost. He's technically the new president. And you don't have to ride motorcycles to be the chapter president. That's the thing about it. So he's technically next in line. Just stop by to say you're a good dude and wish you the best, Pro. Thank you, Ken2. Thanks, man. Damon Gant was a corrupt police chief, but at least he had enough dignity to accept defeat once he has run out of options. He even assures the judge that the justice system is in good hands. Yeah. I think has that theory ever been confirmed? Is Damon Gant the related to Strong Arm in the Ace Attorney Chronicles? A lot of people say that that's his ancestors. Has that actually ever been confirmed? Oh, okay, Brandon, I will. Okay, Mario. money probably would convince them the most, Jorge, of that. Next Ace Attorney part, probably on Monday. Just taking a little break from it, just to focus on a few other projects, but I will still continue the series. YouTube support removed him from the partner program, stating he doesn't edit, and reuse. We could probably talk more about this in the party, Alvanor. Just, Alvanor, tomorrow, if you see me online tomorrow, just send me a message if you see me online tomorrow, and just say you want to talk to me in the party whenever, you're free. And, you know, we can talk over this, and I'll see if I can do something to help your friend. But that reuse content thing, it screws a lot of people over. There's, like, YouTube support has said that a lot of times when people don't even reuse content. And you're telling me that your friend, that, your friend did not even, reuse content. Like, he didn't download, somebody else's content and put it on his channel. He only said somebody's words. That's apparently what? My favorite pistol in this game? Had to think about that one. Probably Lamat. Hello, Stone Cold. How are you, man? Oh yeah, I agree. The Angels of Death should have been the enemies in GTA 5, not the Lost. Oh, that was a civilian? I didn't even realize. I've seen the Black Ops 6 trailer, yes. Oh, I missed the super chat. I'm sorry. Hey, Pro, love the channel. If you cut off one of your lips with the top lip or bottom lip, you get to pick. What? Cut off a lip? That's a weird one to ask. Thank you, Saddest. I don't know how to answer that one. I'd say probably top lip, because bottom is what people notice the most. I haven't had KFC in years. My friend is also on Discord if you have it. Okay, and is he on PSN? High barter can definitely help. Have you seen Masters of the Air, an Apple TV show about the 100th Bomb Group during World War II? It's the same producers who made Band of Brothers in the Pacific. No, I haven't seen it. Do I consider a hot dog a sandwich? Not really, no. There's a company charging water for $90. What? I haven't had KFC in a long time, Zombie Fanatic, like maybe many years, so I don't even remember what it tastes like. Hey Pro, is Johnny Harris's history videos truth? To a degree. The thing about that is Johnny Harris has extreme bias when he's covering certain subjects. I will say one thing that Johnny Harris is really wrong on historically is when he talks about the history of the Second Amendment, and like for example he says that that the forefathers never intended for, like, you know, civilians to like own, you know, these weapons that we have today. He's kind of wrong, because if you look at the Federalist Papers where James Madison, the guy who actually wrote the Second Amendment, makes it clear he says that he believes that Americans should have equal arms to the militaries of that time. That's what he says in the Federalist Papers. And so when he's like claiming, for example, it's for a militia, well, the people were the militia. Now, you might have a disagreement with it. You might think that that's a bad idea, but that's what the forefathers intended. So when you have like, when he claims that it doesn't apply to civilians, he's not correct in that. Also, if Johnny Harris, when Johnny Harris was talking about the Mexican-American War, a lot of the pictures that he actually showed in his documentary were actually not from the Mexican-American War. What would you say is the laziest form of content? React content, probably. Yeah, React, I would say. It really requires no effort, no work. Who's my favorite partner in LA Noire? Stefan. I don't think he would have been able to handle what would happen afterwards, Gunner. He probably would have been happy that Hitler was gone, but he probably would not have been able to handle Germany being ripped apart in two. Because the Kaiser really hated Hitler. He never liked Hitler. But he, if he would have seen Germany get ripped apart in two, like East and West Germany after World War II, he probably would not have been able to handle that. Unironically, Portland's DA re-election campaign slogan was safety, justice, accountability. I wish I was joking then, but it's true. Is he that idiot who legalized drugs in Portland? Like, who was the idiot who legalized drugs in Portland? I don't know if it was that DA, but, like, whoever did that is an idiot. Can't wait for your reaction on the console's car when the console's dirty laundry will be revealed. Well, here's the thing about it is, I've actually never played the console's car. I've never played that case. So I don't know what happens. I don't know who the killer is, if there even is a killer, or what happened, what the case is about. I don't know. Because I know Console's Car is a DLC case. I've never played the DLC cases. I just played the main game a long time ago. So it's going to be my first time playing the Console's Car when you see me playing it.
You got a problem?
Didn't he approve of Hitler's quick conquest of France? The Kaiser sent Hitler a telegram, and in that telegram he basically said, "Congratulations, you have conquered France with my troops." And Hitler responded, "What an idiot." That is, that's basically at most of what he said about it. The Kaiser was, the Kaiser never liked the Nazis. He thought that the Nazis had no substance to it. He thought that it was just just pretty much a hateful party. That's all it was. Which is what it was. But he didn't like it. And here's the thing about this is this is another thing that people don't know. Probably the part when the moment that Kaiser Wilhelm pretty much had realized that the Nazis were, you know, bad for Germany was, I would say, probably Kristallnacht. Kristallnacht is probably when he realized that the Nazis were destroying Germany. Because here's the thing about this. Kaiser Wilhelm was an anti-Semite. He really didn't like Jewish people. But he's different than Hitler. Because Kaiser Wilhelm was a racist. But Hitler was a genocidal maniac. That's the difference between them. So Kaiser Wilhelm was a you know, a racist. But he wasn't going to mass murder, genocide people. He wasn't going to do that. And so even though Kaiser Wilhelm was an anti-Semite, when he saw what the Nazis did on Kristallnacht, he thought that that was just too far. He couldn't believe that they had done something like that. Just the killings, the brutality, just the destruction of property, the Jewish people being brought out in the street, being beat to death. He was disgusted by it, and he actually made a statement, and he said the first time in his life he's ashamed to be German. That's really what he made, a statement like that. He said, the first time in my life I'm ashamed to be German. So that was his reaction to that. Let me see, well, he was definitely an imperialist. The Kaiser was not a good man, zombie fanatic. But the thing is, though, if you compare the Kaiser to Hitler, the Kaiser's like a saint compared to Hitler. If you compare him, like, I know the Kaiser did horrible things too, but it's just Hitler was just so much worse than the Kaiser. Well, no, I'm not denying that the Kaiser did horrible things, Gunner. But I'm just saying that if you compare him to Hitler, Hitler is really 10 times worse than him. Wait until there's a minute left and we'll deliver the target. Okay, Alvinor. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, he did, General's Alert. You are right on that. Hi, Blue Wolf.
Line up, folks. Got some questions. If that ain't a face I know from the posters, put him in the cell. To each their due.
One of my friends recently died. He broke his ankle while swimming. He was only 16 years old. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Vladislav. You have my condolences. Hey, Pro, can you give advice on how to beat the ambulance mission in GTA 3? The paramedic mission in GTA 3 is actually not that bad. What I would recommend doing is start a new game, and when you start a new game, the first thing you want to do is just a paramedic. Because none of the gangs are hostile to you in Portland. The Triads aren't hostile to you, the Leones aren't hostile, the Diablos aren't hostile. And because of that, you're gonna be able to easily do it in Portland. Portland is a very easy area to do the paramedic in.
Why me? Please don't do this.
Why didn't the U.S. annex all of Mexico after the Mexican-American War? Here's the thing about this, Topped. The United States actually considered annexing Mexico after the Mexican-American War. People actually don't know that. The U.S. did consider it, so they actually did want to annex the entire country. The reason that the U.S. didn't annex Mexico is for two reasons. The first reason is because Mexico is largely a not English-speaking country. And so what would happen is then if they annexed Mexico, they would have millions of people in the United States who did not speak English. The second reason is racism. It's because if they annexed Mexico, Mexicans would then become Americans and they would be able to vote, and they really didn't want that. So if you look at the territories that they annexed, the territories specifically, they annexed like New Mexico, I think it was Colorado, I think was also part of, I think Colorado was also part of Mexico. They annexed parts of Mexico that actually were not very inhabited by Mexicans. So those were the areas that they annexed. California also, yes. So that's that's the reason why. Have you heard of the Palawan massacre where Japanese soldiers burned American POWs alive in the air raid shelter? It was in the beginning of the Great Raid. Yes, I actually saw that movie too. I actually really liked the Great Raid. Have I heard about the Securitas bank heist? Which one? You have to remind me, JYTV. When did this happen? You know the super chat again. Tell me when it Well, no, Texas was already part of the United States when the Mexican-American War happened, but... What DLC case is the... Which DLC case is the best in LA Noire? Because I haven't played the DLC cases. Which DLC case is the best one? How many DLC cases are there? How many are there and which one is the best one? It was in 2006 in the UK. 53 million was stolen. 53 million pounds. Who stole it? Were they caught? Do you want to see a World War II game taking place in Burma? There actually was a World War II game that took place in Burma. Medal of Honor Rising Sun. I don't know if you watched my Medal of Honor Rising Sun playthrough, but... Five DLC cases. The arson case is my favorite. Are you a madman? Wait, what? What, Wasabi guy? What do you mean? It's quotes from the next case. Oh, okay. Hey Pro, love the channel. What do you think of World War III and how likely will it happen? Should I start prepping, like saving food and survival? Well, here is the thing I'm not trying to make anyone panic, but I think every single person should prep a little bit to a degree. I'm not saying go like, and I'm not talking about World War III specifically when I say this, so I don't want people to like panic. But like, I think that every single person should prep a bit. And when I say prep, I don't mean like, you know, those crazy people that like are building like, you know, nuclear bunkers. I don't mean that. What I mean by prepping is I mean to stockpile like a lot of food, like canned food specifically. Like people should do that. And the reason I think people should stockpile canned food, it's not because for, you know, nuclear war or something like that. Like, I'm not paranoid about that. I don't think nuclear war would ever happen, so I'm not scared of something like that. The reason I think everybody should prep is because you never know when there could be a crisis. And what I mean by a crisis is I mean like COVID, for example. Something like that could happen. There could be some deadly disease, and the supermarkets might not have food. Or there might be like a disaster, maybe an earthquake, tornado, hurricane, and the supermarkets aren't gonna have food. So that's the thing. What I do, my cabinet, I always have like tons of canned food, just canned food for like years in my cabinet, just like stockpiles of canned food, and I always have that there just in case there's like something happens. So like I'm stockpiled with food. If there's like a disaster or something, I don't gotta go out looking for food in like a supermarket or something like that. So that's what I'll say about it, is I think everybody should just, you know, stockpile like, you know, canned food. Not for like nuclear war, so like I don't want people putting words in my mouth, but like just in case there's like, you know, natural disasters, or there's some kind of economic crisis, or, you know, some disease, or, you know, something like that. What would have happened if Mexico accepted the Zimmer telegram? Well, here's the thing: is the Zimmerman telegram didn't actually state for Mexico to invade the U.S. That's what a lot of people get wrong about the Zimmerman telegram. What the Zimmerman telegram basically said is it said that if the U.S. declares war on Germany, Germany proposes that Mexico attacks the U.S. and then Germany will help Mexico regain its territory. That's pretty much what it said. So it wasn't specifically just asking Mexico to invade, America for no reason. It was basically saying that if the U.S. enters the war, to do that. The World War I telegram. So it was what should Wilson have done? You mean World War I? Stay out of World War I. Honestly, it was probably a mistake to get involved in World War I. World War I is not like World War II. World War I was a very stupid, dumb war, and so it's like it probably would have been better if America had stayed out of it because it was such a stupid conflict. World War I is such a stupid war that over 100 years later, people to this day are still arguing over what started the war. That's how stupid that war is.
Oh, shit!
Okay.
Just go to hell.
Okay. I get bullied in school for being Russian. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Vladislav. That shouldn't be nobody should be getting bullied for their nationality. I would talk to a counselor about that if I was you. And see what the counselor says. And also for the kids that are harassing you, just ignore them. They're stupid. I will, I'll tell you something is, it's just, the unfortunate thing is that what people don't understand is that people are not responsible for their governments, especially if the government is a dictatorship. People aren't responsible for the government, especially if the government's a dictatorship. So it's like, unfortunately, people get blamed all the time for it. Like, the thing is, though, is like I've talked to so many people on PlayStation over the years who have basically, like, said, like, oh, Americans are stupid people, and they started a stupid war in Iraq, and everything like that. And I basically just say to them every single time, I'm like, listen, dude, like, I never supported that war. The vast majority of the American public is against that war right now. Okay, it was a bunch of stupid politicians that started that. But that's the, that's what I will say is people are dumb. And, like, every single time a government does something bad, people blame the people from that country for that instead of just blaming the government. So that's,
Damn, no.
You spoke about General Yamashita and Medal of Honor Rising Sun, who stole a lot of valuable artifacts like gold in Burma. Yes, he did. The thing is, though, is that the vast majority of the Japanese generals had, like, no remorse for what they did. Virtually none. These guys were stone cold killers. They really had no remorse. There was, I will tell you something. There was, like, one Japanese general. I forget his name. But I think maybe it's, like, the one guy who I might feel bad for. The only Japanese general during World War II, but basically, somebody might know the guy's name in the comments, but basically I don't remember what the guy did that was bad, so I don't remember exactly what crime he did, but the only thing I know about him is that he got sentenced to, I think it was like 5 years in prison in Japan, and it was like, and he got out on, like, good behavior, and he felt bad about what he had done, and he actually asked the authorities to send him back to prison because he had a guilty conscience and he felt bad about it, but the Japanese government wouldn't put him back in prison. And so what he did was he actually built a cage in his backyard, and he locked himself in that cage and he starved himself because he just felt bad about what he had done during the war, or he felt guilt. So I don't know what that Japanese general's name is, but that's like the one guy maybe I'll feel bad for because he actually showed some remorse for what he did. But it was like a lot of the other generals, these guys were stone cold killers, and they felt like no remorse for pretty much what they had done. Okay, well, I will play, let me see if I can actually find that Japanese general. I'll actually tell you guys what his name is. Let's see. Japanese general who locked himself in a cage. Let's see here. His name was Hitoshi Imamura. He died in the 80s. What did he do? What was he accused of? It says here about him that he didn't just get his title. A lot of the other Japanese generals were related to a lot of aristocrats, and so they just got their titles. He actually worked his way up through the military. He went from a lieutenant in the infantry. He's been decades in the... He eventually got promoted to major, lieutenant colonel. Then he became colonel. Okay, let's see. What was he accused of? He surrendered he fought in the Indonesia and New Guinea campaign. In the Southern Pacific Islands, he surrendered to Australian forces. He was accused of war crimes. He was accused of execution of Allied prisoners of war. It says that his soldiers were accused of putting Allied prisoners of war in it says in baskets, and then they were thrown in the water and drowned.
How do you do?
It says he was charged with failure to control the soldiers under his command when they committed horrible atrocities. It doesn't say that he ordered any atrocity, but it says here that he failed to stop his soldiers who were committing atrocities against prisoners of war. And he was tried by an Australian military court. He was convicted and sentenced to an imprisonment of 10 years. He was released in 1954. He thought that his imprisonment was too light. And he, so he wanted to go back to prison. The Japanese government wouldn't send him back to prison. He built a cage in his backyard, and he stayed in the cage until 1968. So he locked himself in a cage that he had in his backyard for 12 years because he felt guilty. So that's what I'll say. So that maybe that's the only Japanese general during World War II that actually felt bad for what he did. Was Hudson a traitor in Black Ops 2? Yes and no. I mean, he kind of betrayed Mason and Woods, but he was doing it because he was threatened. Thank you, GTA Plug. Eugenics has no pros, Lopez. It's an evil, racist system. Thank you for the super chat. Thoughts on McDonald's starting to get rid of drinking fountains in their lobbies and eliminating free refills? What? Is that real, Blinded Eagle? Thank you for the super chat. What you're talking about, my country, pro? What country, Echo? What do you mean? What?
Get your pizza right here.
Hey, Fernando. Oh, Indonesian. Okay, well, I was talking about, like, this Japanese general that was in Indonesia during World War II. Okay. Suggestions on how to make money in Vice City besides missions. You mean without missions? By missions, you mean also you count like the firefighter and the paramedic and the vigilante. Besides that, I think everything is pretty much a mission to make money with. Hitoshi Imamura, one of the Japanese generals that he felt guilty with himself for what he did during World War II. Yep. Hey, TD Strider. I don't agree. I don't think that theory is true that Abigail was a rat. I don't think that's true. There are too many comments, but Pro is trying his best to respond. Thank you, Ricky. Well, Curiosity, can you tell me what your question is, and I'll look for your comment. Please tell me what your question is. I'm just having so many people that are asking me stuff. I'm just trying my best. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Blade of Stars. What was your question? I meant no harm. I just wanted to see your views. Well, thank you, Lopez Subs. It's for the super chat. It's okay. Hey, Pro, why detective gamer movies oftentimes involved in murders? In Ace Attorney Chronicles, all the cases involved murder. Well, murder mysteries are probably the most interesting to solve. That's why they're the most common mysteries in movies and games. Curiosity. Okay, let me see here. What is this? Would I enlist for World War III, even if it meant shooting soldiers? What do you think would start it? Look, if World War III was like, I don't want to, get into whole hypotheticals. I would just say that if World War III was where you had like another country that was coming into America, like invading it and trying to conquer it, I think you would have, millions of people that would sign up to defend the country. But if it was like going overseas and like, fighting, a superpower on, on the other side of the world, you would have millions of Americans that probably would not go to that. They would disobey that. So they would rather go to jail. So that's what I'll say about it. So it depends, like, when you ask people if they would, fight in like World War III, it really depends. It's like if their country is getting threatened, most people would. But if people are going over to like, across the ocean to like, fight a superpower, then at that point there's probably gonna be millions of people that are gonna say no. I'm not sure if he was the one who legalized hard drugs in Portland, Pro. Regardless, his time as DA seen the city turn into a dumpster fire. What do you mean, Dynasty? Uh... Well, I don't want to talk about any of the current wars or the conflicts that are going on. I was just trying to answer his question, but and also I'll say is that is not exclusive to the US, because if any country gets invaded, you will have a lot of people that will be very patriotic and will defend their country right away, but then going to fight to defend another country, especially a country very far away from you, that's when you're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna say no. I don't even notice. What is the month's Red Dead bonus? What do you mean, Young? And Dynasty, what were you trying to ask me before? I'm confused. What about conspiracy cases? You mean like a detective games? Yeah, they're pretty fun too. Basically, oh, you didn't have to super chat again, Blade, but I appreciate it. Basically, I was asking why reaction content is so hated. I know two great channels have amazing content, even if it's reaction. Besides, like, Five Nights at Freddy's, VHS, or horror content made by people. Look, here's the thing is, having some reaction content is not necessarily a bad thing. I actually have an idea for a reaction video that I want to do. I have a video that I want to do where I want to react to this one. There's this one YouTube channel out there that is spreading false information regarding GTA lore. Like, it's a lot of, like, clickbait lore that is not true. And I was thinking about just doing, like, a reaction to it. Not hating on that channel, but just, like, doing a reaction to it and just, like, you know, giving my thoughts on it. But this channel, I'll say, has, like, you know, millions of subscribers. Like, millions. And they put out, like, a bunch of videos on, like, GTA lore that are just not true. Like, the stuff that they say in that lore is not true. It's just not a, yeah, it's not a, it's a bunch of nonsense. That's what I would say. And if you want to know how bad that lore video is, for you guys wondering how bad that lore video is, this YouTuber of millions of subscribers, do you know what they said in their lore video? They said that Michael is Claude. I'm not joking. They said that Michael is Claude. And so it's like, this is a channel of millions of subscribers that posted a video like this. Just think about that. Michael is Claude. Just think about that. What do you think of that? Just look up Michael is Claude on YouTube and it'll come up. It should come up. I don't want to say the channel's name, but let me just type in Michael is Claude in GTA. Let me see if the channel comes up. But no, it's, if you type in Michael is Claude in GTA, that channel is actually not coming up. Let me see what the video is called. Okay, this channel has 600,000 subscribers, the channel who put out that video, Michael is Claude. But the thing about this channel is that this channel is a smaller channel based from a larger channel. The original channel has like millions of subscribers. But anyways, the video is called 10 GTA theories that might actually be true. That's the stupid thing. Dynasty Tariq Terry, are you still here, man? Yep, that's it. It's Mojo Plays, the channel. Who, that's, Okay, hang on a second. Let me just see here. Let me see here, hang on. Okay, hold on one second. Is it here? Oh. So guys, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. This 10 GTA theories might be true. Look
Notified of our latest videos. Michael is Claude.
I saw your face, I'll remember you.
You forget 1,000 things every day. How about you make sure this is one of them?
At the beginning of GTA 5, the player engages in a heist which ends in the death of a friend, an escape of another, and Michael Townley being apprehended.
All right, Brad's gonna be fine. We gotta get this out of here.
This arrest ends in the witness protection and placement of Michael Townley, now Michael DeSanta. Showing that he already knows how to change lives, it's not hard to believe that before becoming Michael Townley, Michael began his life of crime as none other than Claude from GTA 3.
So keep your hands on the wheel. You don't mess this up, maybe there'll be more work for you.
The timelines and age of Michael work quite well to fit this mold, and some smaller details about Michael's character design help players to round this theory out. Ryder wasn't meant to be a villain.
Yeah, so there's just, some parts of this video are good. I will say the entire video isn't crap. Some parts of it are good. But, like, this part right here, this is garbage. This is just, I'm telling you, this is right here, this is absolute garbage. Michael is Claude. Like, seriously, how can you be a channel with, like, millions of subscribers? You're doing a video on GTA theories, and you should know that the 3D and HD universe are two different universes. So how would you even, like, how do you not know that? Claude does not exist in the world of GTA 5, and Michael does not exist in the world of GTA 3. They're two different universes. And that's one of the stupidest things ever. Claude did not even care about anybody. He didn't. He was a complete psychopath. The fact that Claude would have a family and, like, a daughter and a son and actually love them is just absolute nonsense. So this is just, it's just, I don't know what they were thinking, honestly, with it. And some of the other theories are pretty stupid, too. I'm trying to remember what, they had another theory in here that was also kind of stupid. The only one that kind of made sense was Trevor's mom is possibly dead. That was actually... Oh. This one. When they were talking about the Mount Gordo ghost, they said that there's a theory that the ghost is the wife of Jock Cranley. That's not a theory. That's actually true. That is the ghost of Jock Cranley's wife. Because Jock Cranley murdered his wife, and so that's her ghost. That's, That's, yeah. That's what I'll say about that. Is Dynasty Tariq Terry still here? He was trying to ask me a question earlier, but I didn't. Let me see. Next LA Noir video tomorrow. And let me see, is Brad is Lester. Is this another... I think this is another one, too. There's a video on YouTube, GTA 5, could Lester actually be Brad? And it's... and that channel has almost 7 million subscribers.
I'm charming. Now.
Pat, King of the Castle in 15 minutes? Okay, we could do it. Can you throw the target in the wagon? I guess Dynasty Tariq Tarek isn't here. I was trying to see what he was asking me earlier. Oh, and Richard wants to join the posse too. Okay.
Still breath in this one's lungs. That's worth something to you.
Lag? Wait, what lag?
This is you. I'll be on my way.
Wait, is it okay now? Is the stream okay now, guys? What's going on? Stream is fine on my end, huh? Okay. Have you heard that a furry calm someone dressed up as a Bon Voyage and was carrying a realistic toy gun was checked and approved by security? What? Thank you for the stream, generals. My frames are tearing? What's wrong with my frames right now? Okay, I gotta feed my horse. My horse needs to be... When I stand still, it jumps like crazy, huh? I guess the time Tariq Terry left, I was trying to ask him what was going on, but I guess he just left. Oh, and you said that, that King of the Hill is gonna be soon, right? We'll do that then, too. For you guys that are watching my LA Noire playthrough, you guys, if you haven't already, check out my Ace Attorney playthrough, because if you like LA Noire, you'll probably like the investigations in Ace Attorney and like calling out the people that they're lying when you show them evidence. Would I become a state trooper, regular city cop, or sheriff? Probably I'd prefer being probably a state trooper if I had to be a cop. I would not want to be a city cop. And I wouldn't want to be a sheriff because you have to deal with so much stuff. Well, here's the thing is, Ricky, the next part of Ace Attorney that I put up, Ricky, it's going to be a brand new case. So you don't even have to watch the other ones. So there's going to be a new murder case, and we'll, I have a Theory Pros review, bruh. Oh, that guy's my cousin. The guy who sits down and reviews food. Yeah, he's my cousin. No, I'm joking. He's not my cousin, but people think that I'm related to him. When is Ace Attorney coming back? Monday. Monday, I'll have another part of it. Yeah, people have told me to check that game out. Danganronpa? I gotta look into it too. I'll have it up. I'll have the next Ace Attorney case up on Monday. I caught you off guard when I said what for the first time, Mr. Green? Oh, you mean the cousin thing? Hey, Pro, I made a short on the Wastelander who blew himself up in Part 7 of your Fallout 3 playthrough. I made it 2 weeks ago and sent it to you on Twitter. Can't wait for Kane and Lynch. Thank you, Tanner. Let me look. Hang on one second here, Tanner. You made a short on that exact same thing, too? Let me see. Thank you for the super chat. Let me just see here. Let's see, hang on, let's see if there's a... Oh, 6 minutes until King of the Castle, okay. Let me see, you made a short on the... Was it? Hang on a second, You sent it to me on Twitter. Wait, so it's not on your YouTube channel? I'm just confused when you said short, Wait, so wait, can you comment on my latest, tweet, Tanner? And I'll look at your Twitter account. I just get a lot of notifications on Twitter, so it just be a little hard trying to find you. A 9/11 mission in Black Ops 6? Well, I don't know if they'll do something like that.
Hello, sir. You know they have.
Okay, we're gonna have that King of the Hill soon. Maybe when I get time, I'll go for the platinum, Brandon. Will I ever do another big sale on Red Dead Online? Probably not. I probably wouldn't have time for it, and there's just yeah, it's been so long, so I don't know if I would do another big sale on it. Hey, Bobbinator, how are you, man? Do I like harp? Sometimes. No, I'm not a Rockstar executive. I posted the video on my Twitter. Tanner, can you post on my latest tweet, the latest tweet that I just made, where I'm like streaming Red Dead Online? Can you leave a comment under that, and I can just look at your Twitter there? They was working on the tires. That's all that was took. Wait, what? Less than 1 minute. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, Mobinator. Congratulations on graduating, dude.
All right.
Okay, just waiting for this, There we go, King of the Castle. No, I haven't really looked into it. I know it's Japan, though, Mario. What about it? I don't really know of any, Yakuza or Triads in New York. I never really heard much about them. I'm sure there's something in New York like that. Like, I'm sure there's some kind of Triad or Yakuza group, but I haven't ever heard anything about them much. Oh, I have the Evans repeater. Why do I have this? Ah. Damn. It should be there now. Okay, I'll look in a little bit. Crap. I missed both those shots. What? Okay. How am I missing all these shots? Spawn's so far from it. Okay, you see, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I'm using a Springfield rifle, which is the most powerful rifle in the game besides the sniper rifles, going for body shots with focus fire Deadeye, and yet... Crap. That's just so stupid. 3 body shots, and they're still alive. That's dumb. That's really dumb. I guess like halfway dirty, but it shouldn't be taken that. Okay, Lancaster repeater. Let's just see how broken this gun is. Oh, yep, Lancaster, it's gonna be. Yeah, I'm probably gonna make like a tank build like one day when I get around to it, but and we got two level 780s in here. Oh, great. Just wonderful, right? It's just all Lancaster headshot. Yeah, I honestly just never liked that style. I just think it's cheap personally. This is stupid. The fact that you can just shoot somebody that many times and they'll still be alive, but then just one headshot and you're just absolutely done. Yeah, this isn't fun. And just all Lancaster headshot spam, that's all it is. Well, at least I got that one, yeah, but... No, I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna use explosives. Even if these people are just Lancaster spamming, I'm not gonna do that. It is cheap though. They're probably using painted black, and they're probably using split point on the Lancaster Using Lancaster split one, we're not using that one. Yep. There we go. No, I'm not muted, Aussie. Hey Raiden, how are you, man? I'm doing good. I'm doing fine. It's just I just ran into a bunch of people. All these people are doing is just Lancaster stemming. It's not fun, dude. Even when I pull out my Lancaster, I'm not MLG like these people are. Yeah, it's just he's just diving. Even when I'm not shooting at him, he's just diving repeatedly. My God. It's just... it's just, yeah, I know exactly what he was doing. He was using Slippery for Carcano. Yep, that's smart. But, man, yeah, you're gonna see, like, when this game ends, that level 700 is gonna probably have, like, 30 kills and, like, 1 death or something like that, possibly even more. You're gonna see, yeah. I'm no match for these people. It's just Carcano and Lancaster. I have not been killed by any other gun besides Carcano or Lancaster this entire game. Okay, there we go. I had no cover. Man. Okay, finally, I get killed by something other than a Lancaster or a Carcano. Mauser pistol, at least there's that. Something different. It's, oh, come on. Yeah, he's gonna snipe now. Okay, this is getting stupid right now. You see, this is a perfect example of just why the tank builds are just so broken in this game. 4 shots to the chest, 4 shots with a Springfield rifle with express rounds, and they're still alive. But this 1 shot to the head, that's it. You're done, Lancaster. So that's exactly what I mean when I say that the tank builds are broken. Can't even move right now. Yeah, I'm no match for these people. They're so much better than me, too. Oh, but, yeah. I don't mind a challenge, but I don't like getting put up against, like, godlike players, too, in, Yeah, I agree the tank build is broken. Yeah, 100%. It's stupid. Hey, Frank. How are you, man? Okay, so how many kills do you think the guy spamming Lancaster headshots is gonna have, guys? Do you think it's gonna be like 40 kills? 30 kills? Like, what is it gonna be? What do you guys think? Yep. Well, at least there's something else besides a Lancaster now. Like, how many, what's their kill-death ratio gonna be? Is it gonna be like 30 kills, 40 kills, 1 death? Like, let's see, like, you know. Carcano 2 again, let's see here. Let's see who's the closest to this. Let's see who's gonna be right. Let's see here. I have a horrible KD, this one. I died way more times than I killed. But I just can't stand that Lancaster headshot tank build. It's so broken, overpowered. That's the only thing I would change about PvP and Red Dead Online is I would do something about that tank build stuff, because that's just broken. It should not be like that. Look, 25 kills and 2 deaths. I did terrible. 2 kills and 21 deaths. Like, 25 kills and 2 deaths. It's just, my god. And 27 kills, 3 deaths, 36 kills and 2 deaths. Wow, my god. It's just, well, at least you guys were close. We're guessing, yeah, like 30s. You were there. But yeah, I 46 and 4. There's one guy, and he wasn't even going for the objective. He was just going for kills. I got a higher score than he did. So it's, yeah, so, that's, oof. Honestly, like, that's why I always like to mix it up. That's why I use guns that aren't, like, that common. That's why you see me, like, running around guns like the Litchfield and, like, the Springfield rifle, because these are guns people almost never use. Like, Cattleman, I'm running semi-auto pistol. The reason my class is just so weird is because I just use guns that people never use. Like, I just like to mix things up. But, like, I can't imagine how boring the game would be if, like, all you do is just do Lancaster, split-point ammunition, just painted black headshot. If that's all you do... Like, I cannot imagine, honestly, how boring the game would be if that's just how people play. Well, that's how people play, unfortunately, is they will only use, like, one gun. Like, when one gun is, like, so broken and overpowered, they will only use that gun and nothing else. Okay. Okay, I think that my moonshine is ready by now. I'll teleport you guys in the moonshine business. Don't use the travel because you'll save $3. I'll just fast travel you guys inside. I have to build a new, like, the next time I play Red Dead Online, I gotta build a new PvP, like, card setup. Like, I gotta use new cards. Seeing as it did a lot for your channel early on, would you be sad about GTA 5 Online when it finally ends? A little bit, yeah.
Dispatch is perfect. We can ship it whenever you like. So,
an interesting fact about Slovakia.
You are here.
I can't think of anything at the moment. I do know that the I do know a sad thing though. I know the Slovakian Prime Minister was recently shot. I do know that. I hope he makes a full recovery. That's horrible.
No preliminaire, just action. It's not that sophisticated, but you know not every occasion is sophisticated, huh? Vous comprenez? But
Patrick, what's a good reason why the Midwest is the best place to live in America? I don't, I think the Midwest is the best place to live in America, but that's just my opinion. You know, somebody will have, like, a completely different opinion. Somebody might think Florida is the best place, or they might think New York is the best place, or California, or Texas. I think the Midwest is the best place in America because it's cheap, It's very affordable compared to other places like California, Texas, New York. It's very low taxes. Very low taxes, both income and property taxes are both very low. Groceries affordable. Small towns, it's there is very little traffic. I would say other thing I'll say yeah, I would say little traffic, small towns, and I would say I like the weather. I like colder temperatures, so I would not be able to live in like a hot place like Florida personally. Nothing against Florida, but just too hot for me. Keep going. Oh, I missed a few super chats. I'm sorry. Wait, what are you talking about, Saddest? What about YCM? I wouldn't let that griefer guy get to you, bro. I know I wouldn't. They most likely have a pretty... Well, no, to be fair, though, Aussie guy, those people that are fighting, they weren't griefers. They were just PvP players in King of the Hill. But, like... Here's the thing is, I don't mind a challenge in Red Dead Online. I don't. But I don't want to fight somebody that all they do is they just, running some ridiculous tank build, and they're just using Lancaster painted black and just going for your head instantly. Like, I don't want to play against somebody like that. Just Lancaster headshots. Like, I'd rather, like, play against somebody who's using, like, a bolt-action rifle. Or maybe they're, like, dual-wielding or something like that. Like, not like the constant same thing over and over again. Lancaster headshot spam. I just personally find it boring and it's annoying to fight against somebody like that. LA Noire will be tomorrow, I promise. Or today, technically, because it's already Saturday. Or about to be Saturday. Oh, why? What's wrong with the protagonist, Mario? It's okay, Aussie. Don't worry about it. I appreciate your concern. But, Los Angeles rooftop? What's that? What do you mean, a roof in Los Angeles? What? What's the best way to lower taxes? What do you mean? You mean what's the best tax to lower? Or what do you mean exactly, Isaiah? When is the Kane and Lynch 2 multiplayer video gonna drop? Later today. It's already it's processing, actually. Yeah, I remember people spam the high power pistol too. I do remember that in Red Dead Online. In the first one. Yep, I remember that. Yeah, I'll try to put out more parts of LA Noire. I will. Sniper Elite difficulty is actually not that hard, Gunner. The hardest is Authentic.
What's your problem?
Well, YCM and Satis can... I don't know what this is about, but if you guys could just please not argue. No, I don't think it does, Gunner. Would it be worth playing the game long term? What, you mean this game? If you have friends, this game is not that bad to play. It's kind of fun, but yeah, that's what I would say about this game. Is if you play by yourself, it's gonna get boring. The Red Ball episode in the Boondocks. I don't know if I remember that one. Oh, wait, do you mean the kickball episode? Is that the one? It is a bit creepy, Assassin Wolf. Yes, I will finish Rise of the Ronin next week, I promise. I've just been so busy with just that Claude Lore video that I did 2 weeks ago, and then my other rental, I was just busy with doing some things around the house, and yeah, I just been so busy lately, so I apologize for that. I will finish Rise of the Ronin next week. I have my word on that. I'm sorry. Thank you, Aussie guy. Yeah, maybe I'll be doing more of it. And Tanner, you told me, right, you told me you made that tweet. I'm sorry I didn't. Let me see here. Wait, when did you post this? Did you post this before I did? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like... It's kind of crazy. You made the exact same short I did before I made it. That's crazy. You made the exact same short I made before I posted it, Tanner. People say that the best part of the playthrough is when that happened. General is a moonshine and a traitor. Okay, we can do it after this. Deliver the targets and let's do it then. Let's help General. Wait, what are you talking about, Eka? Yeah, I don't want anyone to feel pressure to donate. Don't feel pressure to donate. And I'll read your comment if you donate or not. It doesn't matter. So I'll read your comment regardless if you donate or not. So it's just I don't want people to feel pressure to donate. Don't worry about it, guys. It's not. I'm not one of those scummy YouTubers that like guilt trips people into donating. I don't do stuff like that. So it's only donate to me if you really truly want to. I don't want people to feel pressured, and I'm not gonna guilt trip anyone. So that's Oh, he did? Who did he play, Mason? Okay, I'll see you, Gunner. Take care. Let's deliver the target and let's just help Gunner with it. I mean, let's help General with his stuff.
Damn good job getting them to me with some kicks still left. That there is what the state deems they're worth.
Okay, let me help, Pro would have maximum honor in real life. Well, thank you. General's here. Okay, General, just start up your posse and I'll help you. Nice hat, thank you. What is the most awful and brutal campaign in World War II, Pro? Probably the Eastern Front. I would say probably the Eastern Front. If you're talking about if you're talking about just the war in general, the Eastern Front is probably the worst part of the war. If you're talking about what front was the worst front for U.S. soldiers, that was the Pacific. The Pacific was definitely the worst front for U.S. soldiers. Don't ever listen to anyone. You've got a pure soul and a lot of jealous followers. Thank you. Thank you, Jetmir. Thanks, man. Versus trader, then moonshiner. Okay. Just sell your trader from here, by the way. We'll just drive it from here. Can you stop talking about that, please, Eka? I thought it was a bit weird, the Black Ops 6 trailer, but I guess we'll see what it's about. Hi, WXY99. Hi, Pro. This is my favorite stream. You're like a friend to me, even though it's YouTube. Thank you for all you do. Well, thank you, Sadist. Just sell whenever you're ready. No, what happened, Molten? Oh no, hold on a second. Controller died. Okay. Okay, there we go. I don't know if I have any plans right now, Tristan. I still have the PlayStation Edge controller, but I haven't used it in some time. Oh, that's actually not that far of a ride. Okay, I'll see you, Echo. How much did I pay for Vice City Stories when it came out? The original price on PSP. If you're talking about the PS2 disc, I think it was like 20-30 bucks. I still think they should have had Mexico in this game. What Hey Arnold character would survive in the wasteland in Fallout New Vegas? I don't know if I remember all the characters, but well, the Midwest has a lot of different history. A lot of the states have different histories in the Midwest. You would not want to live in the year 1899, Chase K. You should use that song they use in movie recap shorts for your channel. Oh god, no. It's like that sad music that plays every time in those short videos when they do like movie clips. It's like the same song every time. Where are people even getting that song from? Because it's on so many different videos. Just a reminder for the video I post on Twitter, which is a sentence I never thought I would say. Let me take a look at it. I'll actually see if I can watch your video now. Because he's driving. Hold on. Wait, so you mean the ticket thing? Blade, is that what you're asking me? I don't remember that character much in you know what TV show I really liked watching in the 1990s? It was Recess. You know, anyone remember Recess? Disney's Recess? Anybody watch that? You know the really sad thing is the actor that plays Principal Prickly, he recently actually passed away. Just a couple days ago. I remember Principal Prickly growing up as a kid. It's sad that he's gone. You can actually watch the entire Recess show for free on YouTube. All the Recess episodes are actually free on YouTube. I remember you made a GTA Plus meme of it, right? I made the meme on making fun of a Rockstar abandoning Red Dead Online. I used a Recess clip, yeah. Hustler Kid, yeah, I remember that one too. Do you remember Slicer? That principal that was gonna take over the school? Slicer, he was scary. Like, I don't think the episode of Slicer would be allowed on a kids show today. I don't think that was Do people kill other people out of jealousy or anger? Both. Old Rusty, I remember that. There's a jungle gym that they wanted to tear it down. Oh, he voices the clown Pennywise? Oh. Slicer was actually a really scary character. Yeah, Slicer was terrifying.
What in tarnation are you?
Do you think that big egos lead to the downfall of a lot of success in general? Yes. You know the thing is, though, is, Raiden, I'll tell you, the Recess TV show was actually dealing with, like, a lot of, like, real-life, like, moral lessons in that show. And, like, one of them was, like, the Womps, the story of Womps. Like, when they said, oh, that Womps, and then they were, like, gonna like, send them to, that was basically them the kids being able to get away with cursing in a kid's show without it being labeled a teenage show. They basically created their own curse word, and it was making fun of how, like, the schools are just constantly policing language. That's what that episode was, like, making fun of. It was so ridiculous. And I think the moral lesson with the Slicer episode was that the kids hated Principal Prickly. They didn't like him, but Principal Prickly was actually a pretty decent principal. You know, he made some mistakes, sure, but he did have the kids' best interests at heart at the end of the day. And the kids didn't like him because he was an authority figure. And when he was actually going to Spiro T. Agnew with the middle school, when he got a job there, and his replacement, Slicer, was, like, evil, the kids realized that they took Prickly for granted, because Prickly wasn't a complete psychopath like Slicer was. You know what the really scary thing about Dr. Slicer is? If you actually look at a picture of what Heinrich Himmler looks like, Dr. Slicer looks just like him. And that's who Dr. Slicer was actually based on in Recess. When I was a kid, he scared me the most. He was probably the character that scared me the most in a kid's show. Let's do your moonshine business. Yeah, he did. Well, Tristan, if you watch the TV show Recess, like, Dr. Slicer looks just like Heinrich Himmler. Like, he looks like him. Like, that's what I think he was based on, because Slicer is evil. He's a horrible person. And, he looks just like Himmler. If you look at a picture of Himmler and Slicer, they look very similar to each other. If you want to know the episode that I'm talking about, look up Recess. Prickly is leaving. Just look up Recess. Prickly is leaving. It's like a video. It's like a video of the episode, and it'll show you that. Oh, you looked it up? Dr. Slicer from Recess? Yeah, that's, the thing, I cannot believe that they were able to get away with that in a kids TV show, because like today I don't think that would be possible. Like, I don't think an episode like that would be allowed. For people wondering what I'm talking about, I used to watch this TV show in the 1990s called Disney's Recess, and if you know who Dr. Slicer is, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, the kids, it was like a kids show. And the principal for their elementary school was leaving. He was going to get a job at a middle school. And the kids were celebrating, but they didn't realize that the principal that was replacing their old principal was like a complete psychopath. And basically, Dr. Slicer was like this guy that like wore a trench coat, and he drove like a 1940s car. He looks just like Heinrich Himmler, the Nazi. And what he does is, when he comes to the school, he basically tells the kids that he wants them to wear school uniforms, that he's going to do regulation haircuts, and he's going to build guard towers around the school. And this is from a kid's show, like a Disney show. Like, this is a principal that was going to do this to an elementary school. And, like when I was a kid, I didn't understand, like, everything that was, like, being said about that. But, like, when I was an adult, I looked at it, I was like, my God. I was like, how did they get away with this? Like, this is, like, this would not be allowed on TV today. Like, it was... Oh, do you think inflation will go down? Thank you, Cringe, name. Thank you for the super chat. Largest super chat today on the stream. $50 super chat. Thank you, guys. Give Cringe Nation a special shout out there. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Cringe Nation. Thanks, man. Do I think inflation will go down? And I love watching your videos and learning new stuff. I will tell you about inflation is I think that inflation will go down when the government stops printing so much money. When the government stops printing so much money, I think it will go down. But unfortunately, the government keeps printing money, and the government also keeps raising taxes. I think that the solution to inflation will be to lower taxes and stop spending so much money, stop printing so much money, and I think inflation will go away, or not. I shouldn't say go away. Will lower. Do you know what the biggest problem with inflation is? The biggest problem with it? The biggest problem with inflation isn't even that prices go up, that like money loses value. That's not even the biggest problem. The biggest problem with inflation is that your wages do not match inflation. So like basically if imagine if you're like a minimum wage worker, right? And let's just say that you're making like, $10 an hour, which is a little bit above federal minimum wage, which is what, like $7.25 an hour, I think. If inflation, kicks in, it gets really bad, and the price of everything, the price of everything goes up by like 30-40%, and you're still making like $10 an hour, you should be making, $11, $12 an hour, 13, maybe 14, 15 to make up for the inflation, but you're not. So that's the biggest problem with inflation, is that wages are not being kept up with the inflation going up, and it's really hurting people. People are losing money. That's actually why I took all my money that I had saved up over the years, and I basically purchased 2 rental properties. And people think that I'm crazy for just, putting all my money into, like, real estate like that. But I did that so that I could get, like, a passive income from the rental properties. And also I did that because it's a way for me to protect my money. Because if I just leave that money in the bank, it's going to lose value over time. If I put it into real estate, at least real estate goes up in value. And so I just hold it there. And I'm making money from the houses, too, as a passive form of income. So that was, like, a way for me to protect myself from inflation. But, like, not everybody can do what I did. That's just something that I took, years of my life saving up on YouTube and from retail. And that's not something that, everyone can do. It's hard. So I totally understand. And I get, like, inflation is pissing a lot of people off, and it's ridiculous. And I hope that it gets put under control, because it is out of control. I think that, how did you save for your 2 properties? It was, just years and years, just like 7 years on YouTube, and, 7 years on YouTube, and working in retail. So I used to work in retail, and just on YouTube, and I just saved up, like, a bunch of money, and I just put it into, rental properties. Here's the thing, if I spent that money in New York, I wouldn't even be able to buy 1 rental property, because it's how expensive property is in New York, so I wouldn't even be able to afford that. But the property in the Midwest, I was able to purchase two rental properties in the Midwest for like a quarter of the price they would cost in New York for like the same type of house. So that's what I like about the Midwest, is properties is so much more affordable. But do you want to know, but I don't know if you're still here, Cringe Nation. There is one president right now, one leader in the world, that is actually doing a really good job at dealing with inflation. And inflation is actually going down in his country. He's actually, his policies are working. I'm not trying to get into politics here. I'm trying to stay away from it. But his policies are bringing down inflation. It is. The guy that I'm actually talking about is Javier Milei in Argentina. He basically got elected to a country that has like a even worse inflation rate than America. I think that Argentina has like the second worst inflation in South America. I think the worst one is Venezuela, and then I think number 2 is Argentina. But he basically had cut the government. He cut the government so much, he closed down so many government agencies. He's lowering taxes. He's cutting spending. He's refusing to print any more money. And so his policies are working. They are reducing inflation. Inflation is actually going down in Argentina. You can read about that. People were calling him crazy beforehand, But it's the first time that a libertarian has ever been elected to as a president of a country, because libertarian parties exist all over the world. They're in pretty much every single democratic country has a libertarian party. But that is Argentina, as far as I know, Argentina is the only country in the world that's ever elected a libertarian. I don't think a libertarian has ever been the president of a country except for Argentina. So the only time you might count somebody as a libertarian, maybe like George Washington. Maybe like George Washington, you could probably say he was a libertarian, but like that, that's like over 200 years ago. So it's 230 years ago. So, but like in modern times, we have never had like an actual libertarian president, and so that's the guy that's in Argentina, and he is helping to bring inflation down. So I wish him well, and I wish the people in Argentina well. There is one guy, I remember I don't know if he's here right now, but there was like one guy from Argentina that would like talk about him a lot. I don't know if he's here watching right now, but I know he liked him. But why do people across America never vote for libertarian parties? Simple. Because the Libertarian Party has no chance of winning. That's why. Because people are gonna vote for the two parties. Like, honestly, I wish the Libertarian Party would sometimes win in America. I wish they would become like because the Libertarian Party for me seems like the most normal party. Like, I think like both parties are psychos. And so I think Libertarian Party is the most normal party for me personally. There was one Magic School Bus episode where the journalist was willing to drown Miss Fizzle's whole class to protect her fake story on there being a monster in Walt Walker Lake. Wouldn't fly today. Oh. Thank you, Mario, for the super chat. There's an episode in Recess where there's this guy, this janitor, who like 20 years ago stole like the head of Thomas Jefferson from like a bronze statue, and he hid it in the school. And then like 20 years later, he takes a job as a janitor. And he's trying to get the statue of the head back from the school that he hid, because the statute of limitations are going to expire on the case. And when the kids find out about this, he basically leaves the kids tied up in the basement, and he tells them that he's going to starve them to death. And this is like in a Disney kids show. So like it's like that is like not would never be allowed today on TV, something like that. But that's like and the thing about that is like that entire crime that he was doing. He was like, it was like, I think it was like $20 that he stole when he was like a kid, and then like 20 years later he was gonna murder a bunch of kids over like $20, which is like, it was like the promise of that episode was just so ridiculous too. Hey Roshan. Well, the thing is, I can't really see people doing that, like, like when that guy pretended that it was his car, Blade of Stars. I don't think people would really do something like that. You guys ever watch the show Courage the Cowardly Dog? Courage the Cowardly Dog was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. Courage the Cowardly Dog would not be allowed on TV today. I'm telling you, like, a show like that would not be allowed on TV. There's no way. But yeah, I watched, that was one of my favorite shows, is Courage the Cowardly Dog. And what I'll say about Courage the Cowardly Dog is some of the characters in Courage the Cowardly Dog were just I would say misunderstood. Like they were doing bad things at the start, but then they just had they changed, and they weren't as evil as they were made out to be. But some of the other characters in Courage the Cowardly Dog were evil. Like some of them were evil. Like Cats was evil in Courage the Cowardly Dog. LeQuack was evil too. I'm trying to think what other characters were evil in Courage the Cowardly Dog. LeQuack, Cats. Who else was evil in that show? The zombies. Yeah, the zombie producer was evil. The cockroach. What's the cockroach's name? The cockroach from New York, the one that has the New York accent. That one. I forget his name. The cockroach was evil. Oh yeah, the Puddle Queen is evil too. The Puddle Queen was evil. The Queen was evil too. I think the characters that weren't evil, the pig. No, wait, I don't think the pig wasn't evil. He was just misunderstood. No. The cockroach is Bushwick, yeah. No, he actually was never killing anybody. Like, Courage thought that he was killing people, but he actually wasn't. He was just making sculptures of people from meat. He wasn't actually killing them. He was just painting. It was like, the characters that weren't evil in Courage the Cowardly Dog are the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh isn't evil King Ramsey, because all he wanted was a slab. He wasn't there to do anything bad to anybody. That Ghost Head isn't evil either. The Ghost Head just wanted basically Yusuf to be a farmer. What is it? What other characters are good in Courage the Cowardly Dog, but misunderstood? The Scarecrow wasn't evil either. The Scarecrow was just misunderstood. Oh, the Flan guy. The Flan guy was evil too, and the Doctor are evil too. Yep, yeah. Oh yeah, Kitty. I remember that too. They were yeah, she wasn't evil. She was just misunderstood too. Have I ever watched Dexter? I know the show. Yeah, it's the Blood Doctor. That one, yeah. I haven't seen it before, but I know the show. Thank you, Rashawn. No, I probably won't do poker today. Yeah, but he kind of changed at the end, Officer Soldierist. Oh, Dexter's Laboratory. I've watched that one, but Dexter, no. Yeah, Courage's parents, I know about that. That was, Oh, it just, I think it's just because my character's wearing a coat in, like, really hot temperature. I think that's why Deadeye is all messed up like that. The evil dog in the kitty episode, yeah, I remember that. What are you guys talking about? Oh, we're talking about evil characters in Courage the Cowardly Dog. No, I don't play any poker in real life. I watch Ed, and Eddie. I watch that show. You know the thing about the thing about Ed and Eddie is that that show basically showed how horrible abuse is in a kid's cartoon, because in that show, in Ed and Eddie, kids were constantly getting beat up in that show. But if you remember in the Ed and Eddie movie, it was that Eddie's brother, an adult, was actually beating up Eddie. And so, like, when an adult was beating up one of the characters who was a kid, it was very different than the other kids who were beating up each other constantly. And so that's what I say is, like, you see just how horrible Eddie's brother is. Ma Bag was pretty bad, too. Oh, yeah, Eustace's mom. She was bad, too. I watched Family Guy back in the day. Like, here's the thing is, if you watched late 90s Family Guy and early 2000s Family Guy, it was the best. Like, late 90s Family Guy was the best. Just those episodes, that was just the best. It was really good. It was just, the Family Guy today is just stupid. It's just, they're constantly mixing in some political drama, some celebrity crap. And the thing about this is, like, every single episode of Family Guy, somebody's constantly getting beat up. Like, have you guys noticed that? That, like, almost every episode of Family Guy, somebody gets beat up. Like, now, it's, like, ridiculous. The amount of times people are getting beat up in Family Guy is so ridiculous. Like, back in the day, when I watched Family Guy when I was a kid, we had the chicken fights. That's, like, when people got beat up. And the chicken fights were actually funny because they just came out of nowhere. It's like Peter was talking about something and the chicken just attacked him, and it just led to this crazy fight where he was like chasing the chicken all across the town, and it just like fighting on planes, blimps, boats. It just getting so out of control. But like now it's like somebody's constantly getting beat up like every episode for something stupid, something dumb. I never really watched American Dad. Oh, right, the sand whale, because it was Eustace's dad who cheated. The cutaway gags, yeah, they got a bit annoying. I'm trying to think of what the funniest Family Guy episode was back in the day, like the 1990s. Like, what was the funniest Family Guy episode out of the 90s? I think maybe the episode where Peter became dictator of Pretoria. That one was pretty funny. I watched Futurama back in the day. I did. I still have to watch the new season. The new season of Futurama, I still have to watch that too. Yeah, I have to watch that. Randall from Recess was part of a GTA gang as an informant. Which would it be? Randall would not last as an informant. He'd get caught really quickly. Oh, I agree with you. I think South Park is always funny. Like I don't think South Park has ever really lost its funniness. Family Guy has. Oh yeah, the Clone Stewie one was pretty funny too. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, you know what my favorite episode of Family Guy has to be? My favorite episode of Family Guy, the old ones, are probably when they traveled back in time to to Poland during World War II. Remember that one? That's probably the my favorite episode of Family Guy is that one. The World War II episode. That one was really good. I remember on that episode, when the Germans are like invading Poland, that when the German tank like crosses the Polish border, on the Polish border is like a sign that says like "Welcome to Poland, a great place to invade," and the thing is, I'm a Polish American. I didn't even get offended by that when I was watching that. It's just because it's like Poland is like the most invaded country in European history. It has been attacked from like just so many different angles, so many different countries. It's literally Poland has been attacked from every single side, from the north, from the south, from the east, from the west. Like it's like Sweden invaded Poland. Vikings invaded Poland. It was Tatars invaded Poland. The Mongolians invaded Poland. The Ottomans invaded Poland. The who was it? The Cossacks invaded Poland. The Russians invaded Poland. The Germans invaded Poland. The Austrians invaded Poland. The French invaded Poland. I remember I looked at a map once of like Europe, and it was like every single country that invaded Poland is like in red. And it was like every single European country was red. Like every single one. Like the only European countries that I don't think have ever attacked Poland that was like red are like the Yugoslavian countries, and it was Spain and Portugal and Switzerland. But it was like every single other country was like red. That it had some kind of war with Poland in the past. Quagmire from Family Guy was a bit of a creep. What other countries have gotten invaded more along with Poland? India. India is the most invaded country in the world. If you look at India's history, India has actually been invaded, I think, like over 200 times in its history. So India is the most invaded country in the world. Poland is the most invaded country in Europe, but it's not the most invaded country in the world. That's India. Even the UK technically did invade Poland one time, though. In the 1600s, the UK was at war with the Holy Roman Empire, and they actually sent troops into Polish villages. Like, it wasn't like a direct invasion of Poland, but they crossed through Poland illegally, and that technically counted as the UK, like, invading Poland one time in its history. Hey Pro, have you watched Quiet on Set documentary about Nickelodeon? Producer Dan Snyder, who was a bad dude, and Drake Bell from Drake and Josh sharing his story was bad and sad. No, I've never watched it, but, you know, I used to watch Drake and Josh growing up as a kid, and so it was just like, what happened with Drake was really creepy. It's just, like, that whole thing, it's like, it's just trying to watch, like, it's just hard for me to watch Drake and Josh ever again. I think Drake and Josh is probably the funniest out of all the Nickelodeon like real life shows. I think Drake and Josh is probably the best real life show in Nickelodeon. I think out of all the Nickelodeon shows, I think Drake and Josh is probably the best real life show. Pro, you said you wanted GTA 6 to be a drug empire, like Scarface World is Yours and GTA Chinatown Wars and GTA Vice City, but after the trailer, it seems to not be focusing on drug empires. Are you disappointed? I'm sure there's gonna be some drugs in the story, but thank you, MZG, for that super chat. I appreciate that, man. Who is the most evil Boondocks villain? Stinkmeaner? Maybe is it Stinkmeaner? Who do you guys think is the most evil character in the Boondocks? Is it? I think it's Stinkmeaner, right? I'm trying to think what other characters were evil in that show. What's his name? What's his name? The Ed? No, Onceler. The third. What's Ed's grandpa's name? The guy, the rich guy who like owns most of the town. What's his name? He's evil too. Mr. Onceler. Yes, he's evil too. So Mr. Onceler, it's Stinkmeaner. And here's the thing is, Uncle Ruckus, I don't think Uncle Ruckus is evil. I think he's a bad guy, but I don't think he's evil. Because Uncle Ruckus is mentally traumatized. It doesn't excuse the horrible things that he does. But if you watch the episode of Uncle Ruckus's like background, like he had a really messed up childhood, like a really abusive and a really messed up childhood, and it shows why Uncle Ruckus, the reason that he is the way he is because of his parents. His parents were really bad people, both his mom and his dad. They were just both really bad people, and that's why Uncle Ruckus, turned out the way he is. So he's not a good guy. He's a bad guy. He does horrible things. But it's just like, if you watch his background, you kind of feel bad for him. He's like his childhood growing up. But like, I wouldn't say that Uncle Ruckus is evil. I just think he's a bad guy. He just does he does messed up things, but he's not as bad as like some of the other characters like Stinkmeaner or like Ed Onceler, Onceler Senior. There's the other characters here. Let me see here. I'll look this up really quick. Most evil Boondocks characters. I'm sure there's a few more that I'm missing here. Stinkmeaner, so yeah. Stinkmeaner is actually number 1 on here, people are saying. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. That Ed Onceler did like fake terrorist attacks. And he also paid his grandson to like break into houses to basically pay for so people would buy his security like company. Yeah, so that's that I forgot about that too. I forgot about him doing that too. Oh, and how could we forget the Hatocracy? That's the guys, right? Right. It's been like a while since I watched it. Who are Stinkmeaner's friends in the Boondocks? It's the Hatocracy, right? That's his friends, right? The Stinkmeaner's friends from their retirement home. Who are they? Is it the Hatocracy? Did I have the characters right? It was they were evil too. They were really bad. There's yeah. There's that woman who what's the name of that woman that she's like she's the Freeman's neighbor. I don't know if she lives right next to them, but she lives on the same block, and she forms like that ridiculous like community patrol. What's her name? It was like the episode with the fried chicken. Like she formed that ridiculous like militia patrol, and they went after them. What's her name too? The crazy neighbor woman? I forget her. Oh, Lamilton. How could I forget Lamilton? Lamilton is evil, too. Yeah, Lamilton is evil. Right, Lamilton is evil. So we got Lamilton, Hatocracy, Ed Wunsler Sr., Stinkmeaner. Yeah, so there's a bunch of evil characters in the Boondocks. Oh, yeah, Booty Warrior. How could I forget about him, too? You know, I'll tell you guys, you know what character made me, like, really mad in the Boondocks? I forget, I forget the character's name. Does anybody remember the character's name? I'll tell you guys what he did. He wasn't evil, but he was bad. It was, what's his name? I'm trying to remember his name. The evil neighbor is Van Heusen. Oh, okay. Robert's cousin. He's the guy from New Orleans. I forget his name. He scammed Robert. What's his name? The guy. He's from New Orleans. He comes to Robert's house and he's like living there, and he's not paying rent. He's not working. Jericho. Yes, Jericho. That's who he was. Yeah, he's a scammer. So he wasn't like, he's not as bad as like Stinkmeaner, definitely, but he's a scammer. And you know, one of the reasons I really didn't like Jericho, one of the reasons I really didn't like him, is because he reminded me of people I knew in real life. Like I knew people like Jericho in real life, like people just like that. Like I had some really bad coworkers that were like that, where they would constantly ask you for help, or they would constantly ask you to do stuff for them, things that were not your responsibility. And like when you would help them, they're like, "Oh, I owe you for this. I'll help you. I got you next time. I got you next time." Like how Jericho always says, "I'll help you, Robert. I'll help you. My FEMA check comes in. I'll help you." Blah blah blah. This, but when never any help. They always say, "Oh, we'll help you. We'll help you next time. I owe you. I owe you." And I worked with people just like that. They would constantly guilt trip you. They would guilt trip you, and if you didn't help them, they're like, "Well, do you want it to be harder for me? Do you want me to suffer? Like, you know, I'm going through a lot of stuff right now. Help me." And then when you would help them, they'd be like, "Oh, I owe you big time for this." But then when you need help, they're never there to help you. That's why I couldn't stand Jericho Freeman, because I knew people just like him in real life. I knew people just like that. And so I think the thing about that episode is that, remember that Huey wanted to help them because they were family, but Robert didn't want to help them. And I think the moral lesson in that episode is to be compassionate, you know, help people, but don't take advantage of people. Don't let yourself get taken advantage of. I think that's the moral lesson in the episode is, you know, help people, but don't let yourself get taken advantage of. It's always possible to rebuild, but yeah, do you know one thing that actually surprises me about Fallout is that a lot of the buildings are still up 200 years later. That's surprising me about Fallout. And Ed Once-Learned II pissed me off, that episode where Robert, Huey, and Riley are slaves at some amusement park and Ruckus has a whip. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. That's actually Ed's father, right? I think he only appears in Season 4, right? I actually never watched Season 4. I know about Ed's father being in Season 4, but I never actually watched it. I should get around to watching Season 4. But people told me not to watch Season 4 of The Boondocks. They said it sucked. Did it suck? Like, a few people have told me that it just sucked. So I never got around to watching it. But I should watch Season 4 of The Boondocks when I get the chance. I don't really have a favorite Xbox console. Never really played Xbox that much. Which scam do you hate the most? A scam that targets elderly people. That's like disgusting one too. A scam that targets kids or elderly people. Those are the worst. Like, scams are already bad enough, but when you target elderly people or you target kids, that's just crossing the line. That's the absolute worst at that point. And yes, a lot of the guides are still very viable today that I made on both Red Dead and GTA. Could I do GTA Liberty City Stories multiplayer? Well, I'd have to find somebody to have a PSP to play it with. You can only play with people locally. And yes, Vice City Stories and Liberty City Stories has multiplayer, for people that are wondering. People don't know that it does, but it does. It's only on the PSP version, but you have to play. Somebody has to have a PSP next to you, and you connect to them wirelessly, and that's how you play multiplayer together. Yeah, I think they would have been rated by then, Raiden. But, oh, Lando Freeman, right. The guy who voices Lamar voices him too, right. No, I never watched Amphibia. What is that? Where would I rather live? France 1793 or Russia 1918? France 1793. I would not want to live in Russia right after the Russian Revolution. There's an old story about a woman who lived rent-free in someone's house, basically getting disaster relief, even though she didn't deserve it. She had to serve 50 hours of community service and had to pay back the amount taken. That's horrible. You ever hear those stories about those people that like took the COVID relief money and they bought themselves like expensive sport cars and stuff like that? There's people that actually did stuff like that. They pretended that they were businesses and they pretended that they needed like COVID relief and they would just spend it on expensive sports cars. No, I don't have anything against people from Russia or Germany, Mario. I dislike the Russian government, but I have nothing against people from Russia. I'm going to the eye doctor this Saturday, Pat. I feel like my vision fading away slowly. I'm going to get up early to beat traffic. I sent you a reply on Twitter. Take care, man. I'll see you Sunday. Okay, I hope everything goes good for you, Phoenix. Raiden, huh? Feed that horse, I should, yep. Okay, this is gonna be funny. Bounty here before we go.
Come on now. Hey, man.
The sheriff is literally right here.
Of all the things.
You delivered us our outlaw.
I literally put a player in the jail right now.
Whatever it said on the poster, it's all right there for you.
And for people wondering what happens to a player when you actually take them to jail with the bounty, they actually get put in jail. Like, there's actually a cutscene of them sitting in jail. Oh, and he just got out of jail, too. But basically what happens is that they actually get put in jail, and they have to wait in jail for a few seconds. And depending on how long the bounty is, like, if you have a $10 bounty, you have to wait 10 seconds in jail. That's how long you... So every dollar, it's like a second in jail that you have to sit there for. I think it's still a great movie. I think the original Spider-Man trilogy is great, Raiden. I think they're still great. But I guess we'll, I will look into Danganronpa one day too, Mr. Krabs. I guess I'll be going here, guys. My favorite prosecutor is Edgeworth. I guess we'll be going here, guys. Thank you, thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed the stream, drop a like, and I'll have that Canon Lynch 2 video for you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.